Yo brolies, what's up? The best pre-built mechanical keyboard is now available in the three most popular layouts: 65% with the Halo 65, 75% with the Halo 75, and now 96% with the numpad with the Halo 96. Which one you should choose will basically entirely on your personal preference, but essentially they are all pretty much the same in terms of construction, design, and features, just different in terms of form factors. They all feature robust build quality made out of a combination of aluminum top cover and hard plastic bottom case with a steel plate and a bunch of sound dampening material inside. They also feature hot swappable sockets, tri-mode connectivity, and the so-called halo light effect, offering an entirely different taste when it comes to RGB lighting on a mechanical keyboard. All of them also features the unique ghost bar, which in my honest opinion is the best stock space bar on a keyboard. In this video, we'll take a look at the latest Halo 96 variant, and later at the end of the video, we'll quickly compare it with the other two. With that being said, let's get into it. The packaging is pretty much the same, with an image preview in front, some of the key features on this side, the iconic anime image at the back, and the package contents. I'm still baffled by how NuPhy is able to price their keyboards relatively affordable at just around $120 to $140 given the quality and features they have to offer. Now, upon opening the box, you'll see the Halo 96 itself and a bunch of items underneath it. We have the FAQ paperwork, the user manual with pretty much everything you need to know when it comes to its functionalities, and it actually doubles as a poster when you flip it at the back. We also have a set of stickers here, and the accessory kit that houses some sample switches, different accent keycaps, a switch and keycap puller, and the USB Type-C cable for wired mode. I also appreciate the included plastic dust cover right here. Now, at first look and touch, the Halo 96 looks pretty much the same as its predecessor, aside from being a 96% keyboard with a full numpad. We have some of the nav cluster keys above the numpad, dedicated arrow keys, full function rows up top, and the standard ANSI layout just with the shorter right shift key and missing right control key. We still have the debossed NuPhy logo at the upper right corner, and the multi-function LED indicator in the upper left corner. Looking at the front side, we still have the two material construction, featuring an aluminum top cover and the plastic bottom case with an LED lining sandwich between them. We also have the same ionic pillar design on the bottom case. You can have a better look at the things that I just mentioned when you flip it on its side. It still features a clean-looking high-profile design. Looking at the back, we have all the input and output ports. We have the magnetic compartment for the 2.4 GHz USB dongle, the switch for Mac OS and Windows, the switch for the tri-mode connectivity, and the USB Type-C port for charging and wired mode. Pretty much the same design at the bottom, with 4 flip-out stands, 2 of which are shorter and all with rubber tip as well. We also have 4 rubber tips, the premium-looking chrome badge at the center, and a debossed logo above it. Going back in front, we still have the NuPhy KOP PBT keycaps, with decent typeface both on the alphanumeric keys and the modifiers. I also appreciate that it has a good amount of notches on the F and J keys and number 5 on the numpad. But the main key feature of this keycap set is the so-called ghost bar. What's unique about this space bar is its design and construction, which eliminates or at least reduces the hollow sound and makes it significantly stable while maintaining the standard feel of a normal spacebar. They've done it by adding another layer of keycap with a silicone sound absorber underneath it alongside polycarbonate support to make it more rigid. In addition, the shape of the cross-stem cavity was also changed ever so slightly, adding a little bit of curve to it. I have no idea exactly how they've come up with this idea and why it is so effective, but there's no denying the fact that it works and makes the sound of the spacebar a lot better, especially when compared to other stock spacebar. We even have a couple of silicone dampeners here. Here's a quick sound comparison for you guys. Another thing that's unique here is that they use a different switch on the spacebar, which in this case is the NuPhy Night Breeze. It is linear with an actuation force of around 42 grams and has a reduced travel distance of around 3.3 millimeters. It is also pre-lubed out of the factory, which is nice. This stem is made out of polyketone plastic, while both the top and bottom housing are made out of polycarbonate plastic. In comparison, the rest of the keys has got Rgb Raccoon, which is also linear but heavier with an actuation force of 55 grams and has a longer travel distance of around 3.6 millimeters. It is also pre-lubed out of the box. The stem is made out of POM material, the top housing is polycarbonate, while the bottom housing is made out of nylon PA66. As for the keycaps, like I said earlier, it is made out of PBT plastic, which is quite durable and features double shot material for the legend, which makes it essentially permanent. And although the double shot material doesn't span the entire wall of the keycap, it is still relatively thick at around 1.4mm. Now, while I appreciate the consistency of the Halo series, I feel like they could have improved on some aspects, like the swappable socket for example. It still features north-facing sockets instead of the most commonly preferred south-facing. Although for a pre-built keyboard like this, with an already good set of PBT keycaps, it's probably not that necessary. As for the stabilizers, they are substantially pre-lubed, and as you've heard earlier, they sound pretty good and even better than the previous NuPhy Halo65 and Halo75. Well, here's a proper sound test for you guys for the Halo96. By the way, I noticed that a lot of you guys, my viewers, are not yet subscribed. So if you find my videos helpful or at least informative, a new subscriber will mean a lot to me. So click that red button and hit that bell notification as well so you won't miss out. Thank you. Now in terms of its functionalities, the multifunction LED indicator shows different colors depending on the current mode. And I'll just pop everything on the screen to save you time. This keyboard works both in Windows and Mac OS with a dedicated switch at the back. You can also connect this keyboard to up to 4 devices, 3 via Bluetooth with FN 1 to 3, and another one via 2.4 GHz using the USB dongle with FN plus 4. In terms of RGB illumination, as you can tell, even though our keycaps are not shine through, the lighting is still pretty vibrant, thanks to the white steel plate. Of course, you can adjust the brightness levels of both the main alphanumeric keys and the halo light around it. Now, these are the different lighting effects available. And now, these are the solid color options. You can also toggle the lighting effects on the surrounding halo light separately. And not only that, but you can also change the lighting effect on the multifunction LED. In my opinion, the halo light brings that extra punch when it comes to the aesthetic side of this keyboard. Absolutely stunning all around. But wait, there's more. Partner this keyboard with a two-tone wrist rest made out of a combination of aluminum and acrylic, and you'll get the ultimate Rgb goodness. As you can see, the side lighting of the halo light transitions pretty well on the acrylic wrist rest. So if you fancy Rgb lighting on your keyboard, this is as good as it can get. Now, if there's one thing that I don't like about this keyboard, is the still existing problem on the function rows for Mac OS. As per the user manual, you can switch the functionality of the function rows between multimedia functions and standard functionality by pressing FN plus X and F. However, it doesn't work on Mac OS. I was able to confirm that it works in Windows, but even after upgrading the firmware, it still doesn't work on Mac OS. The good thing here is that you can switch them via the settings in Mac OS, and unlike my experience with the Halo75, the secondary layer using the FN key combination still works here. Now, in terms of the battery life, it has a 4000 mAh battery and can last up to 205 hours with illumination turned off. You can quickly check the battery status by pressing either FN plus backslash or have it always on by pressing the FN plus close bracket. Ultimately, if you messed up anything, you can factory reset the keyboard by pressing FN plus X and B. Now in terms of performance, NKRO works properly in all modes, including wireless Bluetooth and 2.4 GHz connectivity. This means you can press as many keys as you want at the same time without conflicts. As for the software, unfortunately, the latest NuPhy console version 1.0.3 is still not available for Mac OS. I'm starting to think that this is more like a limitation in terms of the microcontroller or some hardware based, but hopefully they give us Mac users some love in the future. On Windows, it works rather fine. Inside the software, we have 3 profiles by default, and you can add or delete them if you want. You can also export and import profiles here. You can also customize the lighting here, adjust brightness, speed, and the bounce time. Now under the key settings, you can change a key's function to a different function, like key combinations, multimedia shortcuts, or macro recordings. Make sure to hit save though before applying the changes. You can also choose to toggle the on-screen keyboard if necessary, and using this doesn't require you to save before hitting the apply button. And lastly, we have the macro tab. Pretty basic, but I still hope they offer this for Mac OS as well. Now, if you want to learn how to tear this keyboard apart and see how it is built from the inside, you can watch my review of the Halo65 here, which shares the same characteristics. And to save you time, you can skip to the 9:49 mark on that video. Alright guys, let me give you my recommendation if you're still deciding which one to get between Halo65, Halo75, and Halo96. And as you may have guessed already, it's actually pretty straightforward. If you really need a numpad on your keyboard for work and productivity tasks and you have a ton of space to work with, the Halo96 is the way to go, although it is also the most expensive among the 3 at around $140. Now, if you don't need a numpad, but you need dedicated function rows and don't want to rely on the second layer and key combinations, the Halo75 is a good middle ground. The 75% layout is one of the most popular layouts as it offers a good balance between compactness and functionality. It is priced at around $130. And last but not the least, if you have limited desk space or if you intend to bring your keyboard along with you anywhere, the Halo65 is the better option. All the features and functionalities are still there while being compact and portable. This is also the best option if you're on a tight budget, as it is priced at only around $120. By the way, before I forgot, there's one thing that I want to mention about the Halo96. If you're used to the 75% and 65% form factor, you might need to adjust on the 96% layout, especially when it comes to your muscle memory, when reaching out for the arrow keys, and to some extent, the backspace. Oftentimes, we're so used to reaching out to the farthest corner for these keys, but since there is a numpad now, I sometimes mistype, especially with the lack of substantial spacing around the arrow keys. Overall, to conclude, any of the Halo series keyboards will offer you a better typing experience, both in terms of sound and feel, especially when it comes to the out-of-the-box experience. They also offer pretty much all the features most people are looking after, like hot swappable switches, tri-mode connectivity, good acoustics and typing feel, and probably the best RGB implementation for a very competitive price. I don't think anyone will get disappointed with these NuPhy keyboards as long as you're not a Mac user. RIP. And there you have it guys, thank you for watching. Full disclaimer, this is not a sponsored video, but NuPhy did provide these keyboards for me to check out. If you're interested, I'll put all the links below, including a voucher code for an extra discount. Thank you for watching, please consider subscribing to help me sustain and grow this channel. Have a great day guys, you're awesome.